focus and punish.
Nope.
Just the hover there. I got baited and made the classic mistake. It will be just the Rel. So the Rel coming through here gives them the engage. They have a little bit of poke here with the Jace. They have the Rel plus Orianna combo, incredibly strong. You can set up then for Gala to be able to fly in and really look to make things happen. But this is, I mean, the floor is 0 for him, right?
Yeah,
you know,
the floor is deep down below the basement.
Yeah, exactly. So baseline for this champion, incredibly low. He is playing Comet here. So indexing more towards that poke. Going to be very, very interesting to see how this does work out. Xiaohu also going Conqueror on the Jace as opposed to the more common Phase Rush, which can help you escape from that Lee Sin and from potential ganks coming in from Canyon. Of course, if you do get hit by that Tempest Cripple, you're slowed down. A lot easier for Canyon to then hit a Binding to try to pressure you a little bit. But instead, he is going for more of the brawling build here. And pretty heavy index towards lane. He's playing towards Scorch, towards Comet. He's got Biscuits. So this is all about the laning phase. It's about poking the Orianna out. And you can see that all fans to see Uzi stepping down. And RNG, after having such a rough year last year on the rebuild, 7th, 8th in spring, don't even make playoffs in summer, coming in 9th place. Here they are. They have already come to the place where RNG had their greatest success from the past, the MSI finals, and they are looking to equal that success that they were able to have with Uzi, which would just be so incredible to see. Really interesting level 1 here. This is actually Gala as well as Ming spending mana and some health to say, hey, we leashed bot, guys. Udyr is starting bot. But actually, Wei is starting leashless topside. So you can see the mind games that are going into this. They know how smart of a player Canyon is. They know how good DAMWON is at actually tracking junglers just based on CS, based on timing, where they would be on the map on their full clear. And this is going to throw you off a little bit. So it will open the opportunity potentially for Wei to make a bot side play while DAMWON is expecting him to be on that top side clear.
Ming already losing a little bit of HP down here. We'll see how that continues to shake out in the 2v2. Showmaker trying to trade here pretty quickly with Cry. And remember that Xerath does have the ability to channel that Q, that Arcano Pulse for greater range, but he can also snap cast it if he's right in his opponent's face like that. Makes it a bit easier to hit. But we will see both junglers pathing towards this bottom side of the map now. Keep your eyes on Canyon in particular to see if he tries to make a move not expecting Wei. You can already see the on my way ping coming out from Canyon here, but it's Wei who's made his way down first. We'll see if the RNG plan works, and there it goes. Ming's already made the engage. There is your stun. There is your play. Ghost is not long for the world, and Barrel is not either. RNG picking up 3 minutes into the game.
Man, it's all off of the fake leech. And this is so interesting because I think a lot of people are going to say, well, they warded out the Udyr. Why didn't they know he was coming? Look at the positioning on where Canyon was at that same point. He was actually on his 4th camp doing Raptors. So they assumed that this was a leash start on bot side, and that when they saw him on Raptors, they thought that was his 4th camp, moving up towards top, not on his way down towards bot. It was, in fact, his 3rd camp. They didn't spot him. They didn't see that he had blue buff. They only saw the Raptors that were being attacked. So they got completely baited by this brilliant level 1 here. And this is just, you can see the shock, you can see the surprise. Like, what is Udyr doing here? Why doesn't he have blue? We saw him on his 4th camp, but you didn't. You saw him on his 3rd, and he had been completely outthought, outplayed in this early game. This is the next level stuff that you expect from international champions.
Yes.
From a team that is of the caliber, that is deserving of an MSI title. And I just think that kind of League of Legends is beautiful to see. You know, we know they have the mechanical skill. You can see that so plainly, but to see the cerebral side of the game, the coaching, the intelligence behind these plays and these pre-planned level 1s, I just think is such a gorgeous part of the game and so underappreciated.
We talk so much about how, you know, the smallest things can make the biggest difference in a game of League of Legends, and usually it's one ability connecting or one single summoner spell being used at the right moment at the right time. But this time, it was just a slight bit of emptiness on a health and mana bar that gave DAMWON the confidence to say Udyr's not here. Incredible stuff from RNG. Canyon was going for the full clear. Like I said, I was keeping my eye on him to see if he tried to path bot nice and early to do anything, but when his lane's pushed up, why would he? He doesn't feel the need to protect them. Wei's on, quote-unquote, the other side of the map. Just really, really cool stuff there from RNG. DAMWON only down about 1,000 there, so they did lose a little bit extra on top of the first blood money, plus the assist money on both of those kills. But RNG are loving how this thing is going early so far. Khan's doing a good job staying even with Xiaohu in farm up here in the top lane. Generally, breaking even with Jace in farm is always a good sign for a top laner.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can go pretty defensive in this matchup. You can go Resolve. You start with the D-Shield. If you're really concerned, you can even put multiple points in the Safeguard to try to really just sustain through any sort of poke. But Khan doing an excellent job. He's down a couple CS, but more of that wave is pushing towards him, I believe. So should be able to equalize that pretty simply. Wei going to be spotted out here. We'll see if they want to try to make any sort of a collapse, but it doesn't look like they're in position to do so. And Canyon just will be going for a recall down on this bottom side. Wei, see if he wants to clear this out, and we'll catch that ward. So actually a cancel recall from Canyon. So Canyon is saying Wei may be coming down here, so he's actually going to go to the brush and probably start his recall again, and then just be there in case of a Nudir gank.
Okay, XP per level on the side of your screen here. We can see solo laners hitting level 6. Xiaohu is the last one to arrive at that point, but of course for Jace, you don't get an ultimate ability, you just sort of enhance what you've already got. So RNG, we'll see how this one continues to move forward for them, still having that lead about the same. Barrel walks forward with the Eclipse, but neither player from RNG will be within range there for the Zenith Blade. Ghost still staying even with him in terms of farm as well. You can see Canyon pathing up towards the top side of the map. Scuttlecrab has spawned there here for the second time, so that means he should be able to secure control over that one. As honestly, Azale, every single role is very evenly matched outside of those couple of kills that went over to RNG super early.
Yes, sir. You can see that. Oh, nice kick in.
Nice flash from Xiaohu. Needed a flash as soon as possible to escape the binding, but now the soul shackles are down. Canyon's trying to stay alive here with the Arcano Pulse coming in, and Showmaker's the one who gets the kill.
Bottom side looks like they will survive. Being pushed back, though. Ghost having used both his summoners. Just the ignite there from Ming. So nice kill. Khan setting it up with the kick in there, getting that injection of gold into Showmaker. They want to set him up for a good game, but the DAMWON bot lane are in some trouble because you showed your mid laner and your jungler top side. You know that Wei just took down the dragon. Cryin is missing from mid, so as far as DAMWON's bot lane know, there could be 4 setting up a dive, and just now they see them over by that mid side, so they are feeling a little bit more comfortable now. But something we haven't had a chance to talk about just yet is the value of Merc Treads for RNG. You know, it's magic damage in the jungle, magic damage in the mid lane, CC from Morgana, from Xerath, as well as from Leona. We're going to see those picked up here pretty early. Ward hop, kick him in, flash on the binding, but nowhere really to go. Morgana is behind you and just plays this pretty defensively, pulling back, not looking for the kill himself. You can see there, that is why the summoners were forced, as Ghost was actually interrupted. Didn't have the timing right on the rocket jump, gets knocked out of that by Ming. They get both summoners down, so now Ghost will be pretty vulnerable for the next 3 or 4 minutes.
Remember that with Tristana, she has that little bit of a channel, charge up, whatever you want to call it, animation before rocket jump. If you're hit with a CC during that, you'll launch yourself through the air after. You buffer through it, right? But if you're hit while you're already in the jump animation, then it cancels. Then Ming is able to stop you. Good job there. Excellent timing from RNG, making sure they get some free summoners out of that. DAMWON now going after the Rift Herald. Ghost has been rotated up here. Everybody from DAMWON's a part of the show. Everybody from RNG doing the same. And it looks like we might get ourselves another first Rift Herald team fight here, Mr. Azale. It happened in the previous game. It'll probably happen here again. Rift Herald still being aggroed, down to about 1/3 of the patience, so they can't afford to have it drop that aggro too many more times. Wei is ready to contest here with the smite. Eyeball opened up, but now the patience is gone. Nice job with Showmaker bringing in the heavy artillery, but a Shockwave's able to find its way onto 2. DAMWON have already lost 2 of their players. Double kill back over to the enemy AD carry. Barrel staying alive, looking to do whatever he can, but everybody else is dropping over. Double kill back to the Jace now as well. Showmaker's the last man standing. Holy moly, RNG, 4 for 1.
Nicely played there by RNG, punishing Ghost for not having the summoners, and DAMWON was pretty split. We'll see if he can get any sort of a kill. No, they just waited out. They do secure it and are going to grab that Rift Herald for themselves, and RNG are 3,000 gold ahead now with Herald, with Dragon. Let's watch this one more time. The initial poke traded back and forth was pretty nice, but Ghost got fairly low. The kick comes in, but it's Ghost. Flashed on by Ming, locked down. Gala goes in, the Shockwave comes through. Ghost is just instantly deleted. And then Showmaker here, you can see maybe a little bit of discomfort on the pick.
Oh, yeah.
Clicking backwards to actually retreat, but actually casting a spell at the same time there. Maybe could have killed. We saw that in the Axe effect replay there. Maybe could have killed the Jace. Couldn't quite knock him down, unfortunately, for Showmaker. But this is so problematic. When you commit to those 5v5s, instead of just trading on the other side of the map, you have got to win. It is so costly. You know, had DAMWON just kept farming it out, leave Ghost on bot side, take a couple plates, get a farm advantage down there, the risk is so low, and really you don't lose that much as far as the gold goes. I wonder if DAMWON were so tunneled on the fact that you have a Xerath who kind of needs this point of safety in mid lane, needs a tower to farm at, that they felt, hey, we have to fight here, and took that fight even if it was potentially ill-advised. Setting up a trap though here on that bottom side. I think this is gonna work.
This should work at least. CC's going out, Ming in a lot of trouble here. One more auto attack takes him out, and it's Canyon who grabs the kill. Nice response here from DAMWON, setting something up and grabbing themselves some extra money. Wei clears out some wards. Showmaker just doesn't have the damage to really force him off.
Yeah, not much you can actually threaten that Merc Dread's Udyr. It's gonna be a while before Showmaker is threatening anyone like that. It's more about kind of shooting past the front line on Xerath towards the back line. That is kind of one of the unique differences with him and some of those other mages that you see where, you know, oftentimes you'll see like a Victor and it's more okay for him to be poking away at the front line. Xerath wants to reach backline. He wants to be shooting beyond the tank towards that Kai'Sa, towards these carries, and really pushing them out. You know, he can utilize the ultimate. We saw some good utilization of that at that first fight on the initial engage to follow up, but gotta make sure you are on point with that. And unfortunately for DAMWON, Ghost is pretty far behind, right? You look at the itemization, he does not have his Mythic yet, and Gala has the Mythic, a couple longswords on top. You know, even in that gank that just worked, it's actually Canyon that picked up the gold. So Tristana is falling quite a bit behind here, and RNG are just in such an incredible position.
Oh, and Ghost is already in some trouble with Gala going in on the killer instinct, but the chain CC's coming back. Ghost is not the one in danger after all. Teleport arrives as Cryan joins the fight, but he's only there for Gala's funeral.
Yeah, I mean, that's a 1v1 you win, Gala, but where's the support? You got to be thinking about where Barrel is. He goes in, that's an 800 gold shutdown given over to Ghost here. Oh, Shockwave connects.
You got to keep your eye on the ball, man. Shelly charges in. RNG is going to grab themselves a couple of plates, but nothing more. Ghost survives, but it costs his flash.
Does cost his flash. Still, all things considered, pretty good for DAMWON. Getting that shutdown onto the Tristana was huge. It will still be RNG's Dragon, but it was kind of always going to be, given the state of the game. But DAMWON, again, are in that concerning position where you're now facing this question of, do you want to contest at Dragon number 3? Are you willing to, again, put yourself at what's going to be a second Infernal Soul in a row and put yourself at soul point, right? Because they've got to make that hard call. If you show up to that third Dragon and you lose the fight and the Dragon, well, the game is probably sealed from that spot. You know, there's such good engage. There's really good scaling as well on the RNG side. So it's a tough call to make, and one that could potentially decide the series here for DAMWON, who are already down a game, who have yet to take down RNG at this event. RNG are going to be building in confidence, building in momentum here in the series.
DAMWON is doing a good job right now of staunching the bleeding, right? 13 and a half minutes into the game, after that disaster of a fight at the Rift Herald, they were down 3K. They've cut that in half since then, a little bit more than half, I guess, if we're being totally true to the numbers without doing any rounding. But DAMWON have to make sure this doesn't balloon any further. Gold leads of a couple thousand mean a lot early on like this. We're not even 15 minutes into the game. RNG already has that Drake lead like you were talking about. It's still very scary for DAMWON. This game has to be played very intelligently for them. Otherwise, they're down 2-0, and if they want to win, that situation demands a reverse sweep, and that's so hard to do.
It absolutely is, and the LCK and the LPL are no strangers to international competition. These are two teams that have fought each other in international finals so many times. And while the LCK does hold a 3-2 lead as far as those international finals are concerned, it's actually both of the wins coming for the LPL at MSI. They are 2-0 in international finals against the LCK at MSI. And it's actually LCK who has always been coming out on top on Worlds. So It'll be interesting to see if that trend is continuing or if DAMWON will be able to buck the trend here and try to claw back in this series. Of course, not that far down in this game, but RNG definitely with the momentum.
Yeah, remember that it was a team from the LPL that DAMWON had to face in the World Final just last year, but now it's Way coming in, going for the flash into the Bear slap, but he doesn't quite have it. Barrel can walk away thanks to the Black Shield from Canyon, and DAMWON will disengage the RNG engage attempt here in bottom lane. They'll trade turrets back up there in the top side. Of course, the turret first blood bonus does go over to RNG.
That failed engage actually pretty costly for RNG, because really Khan had no business taking down that turret up on the top side. He doesn't even have to use his teleport. So you actually commit the top lane TP. Yes, Showmaker does match that, but it's 5 members bot for RNG. Khan just stays top, takes down a tower. So all things considered, pretty good, knowing that that tower was always going to go down here pretty shortly, as they had committed the Rift Herald down there. They had really put a lot of resources into knocking it down.
And man, Way on this Udyr, 1-0-5, 100% kill participation. This pick is a problem for DAMWON. This guy has been having a couple really good games on this. Of course, his team doing everything they can to help set him up, going for that delayed invade in game number 1, doing the bamboozle on the pseudo fake leash there in game number 2. I really love how they're enabling him and allowing him to play aggressively on this pick that honestly has to play that way to really shine and be effective.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And DAMWON finally getting some objectives here. They grab that Rift Herald for themselves. They lost both the Rift Heralds in the previous game. They lost the first Rift Herald in this game. RNG has been getting all the dragons, so RNG has been just dominating the objective game here. And DAMWON will have a chance to utilize that Rift Herald to scrape back some gold and also try to push RNG out of position if they want to fight this next dragon. And I think that they're in a much better spot than they were last game for fighting for this third dragon. They were further behind in gold. You know, the Rift Herald was on the other side. So we'll see if they feel like they can get into a good spot and really set it up. But vision is going to be so critical. You know, how you start these fights is going to be so critical. You want to be first to the objectives, set up the vision, allow Xerath to poke down your opponents as they are trying to enter, right? Xerath doesn't want a committed 100-0 fight. Xerath wants the fight to start when you're already at 50%, when you're already at 30%, because you've been getting hit by those skill shots. So he needs the time to whittle down his opponents, and that is bought through vision control. That is bought by being the first members to the area.
Okay, RNG are the ones with control over that area right now. They're the ones sweeping the wards of DAMWON out of this river. They are the ones with control over the Drake pit. They already have that 2-0 Drake lead. Infernal Soul again, man. This is so disheartening for DAMWON having to deal with this thing back to back against a team like RNG that is so cutthroat, that is so efficient, that is so coordinated. And now they'll move forward.
At Ming.
It's DAMWON wanting to get rid of some of this vision here. Ming knows exactly where he's at. He's ready for the flank here. He's ready to be that engage on the rel. Showmaker will continue trying to throw out some poke wherever, whenever he can. Does not have a blue buff, but plenty of mana still to work with. Dragon's already been aggroed. Ball has been placed in a forward position. DAMWON must be very respectful of this. They can't afford to put everybody in position for a big old shockwave. Brian taking a lot of poke. Ming might be ready to go. It's stolen away by Showmaker. That is huge for DAMWON.
Yeah, they got to back it up now, though, because Ming has his flash. He could look for an engage, and they're split from Showmaker. Here he goes!
Everybody's already grouped up, but they do a nice disengage there with the Lee Sin kick. Way's going to be taken down, and Ghost is grabbing the kill. Khan jumps in now, looking for Xiaohu, but he's got to be careful. Xiaohu has the advantage in health there in the 1v1. DAMWON, they take the Drake, they grab 2 kills. What a huge moment for them. Mid lane turret as well. This game's back to even, Azael.
Back to parity here, Flowers. Everything you could hope from this series so far. 2 teams battling back and forth. The response to the engage was perfect from DAMWON. The disengage with the kick, as you pointed out, able to focus down that front line, get a couple kills for themselves here. And the game becomes very, very different if you get behind the Xerath. If he can start to really become impressive. He was poking out Brian, as you pointed out, and able to actually land that combo. So much damage coming through from here. The slight mistiming on the smite enough from Wei for that to be able to go over. And look at Cryan. This is what I'm talking about. You poke past the front line onto the back line. Canyon flashes out. The kick comes through. Ghost is focusing down Wei. It's difficult for the Orianna to position effectively because he's just getting roasted by the Xerath. You know, the Orianna wants to be up close to Ming, wants to be close to that rel so that he can follow up with the shockwave. But every time Cryan is stepping forward, he's being focused by the Xerath, pushing him back so that the ball will leash and he cannot pull off that combo. And that is such intelligent target selection, knowing that they need to have that proximity to really be able to pull off this combo and to have their engages be as effective as possible. And it just really showcases the intelligence of bringing out this pick and how Showmaker is utilizing it.
A 3,000 gold lead for RNG at 10 minutes has turned into a 100 gold lead for DAMWON at 20. Incredible swing, incredible change of pace here in this game, and we'll see if DAMWON is able to continue building that lead now. This is a position that they were never afforded the opportunity to play from in game number 1. RNG never made the mistake. There was never the error of missing the smite in that game that allowed DAMWON back in, despite the fact that they had a couple of really good moments, despite the fact that for the longest time, Ghost had no deaths. Ghost did everything he could to try to scale up in position in the previous game, but RNG was just too far ahead. And now, man, now DAMWON has found their opportunity back into this game. We're 20 minutes in, and we are on even footing. I am loving the fact that this is a close game.
Absolutely, and Canyon really getting strong. You know, he's closing in on that second item with the Zhonya's. You can see Ghost just completed his second item. It can get pretty problematic here, you know, especially for Cryan, who has no sustain. Oftentimes, you know, you can kind of deal with some of the poke by building a little bit of sustain, building a little MR. Obviously, Gala has some built in with Ravenous Hunter, with Taste for Blood. If you go Legend Bloodline, these types of things, of course, he is Inspiration Secondary, so we won't have that this game. But still, with the sustain kind of built into a Marksman's kit, it's more easy to shrug off poke. Whereas mages don't really have a way to actually deal with that beyond the Corrupting Potion. You take a couple hits from that Xerath as Cryan,
you're gonna need a gallon of potion.
Yeah, I mean, you just can't enter the fight, and it becomes so difficult because that pairing of the Rel and Orianna is so critical. So RNG are gonna have to be very clinical about their engages. You've got to say, all right, this is the fight, we want to take it if X happens. And as soon as that situation occurs, you must go immediately, because you can't give Showmaker time to whittle you down. You can't give him time for multiple spell rotations, or you won't even have the opportunity to fight anymore. And Showmaker now has the second item, Void Staff here.
I like this.
Preempting any sort of MR that is being picked up. He knows that Merc Treads are high value. He knows that everyone's going to have a splash of MR at the very least. And he is already looking really strong.
Showmaker with the summoner spells ready to go here too. Remember, for Xerath, it is very dangerous to teleport into a fight that has already started. He always wants to be there beforehand, as you already mentioned, for his positioning's sake. But the flash is huge to get away from players like Wei, like Xiaohu, who has just completed the evolution of his Manamune into the Muramana, so he'll have all that extra damage here on a champion that already possesses incredible burst potential. 30 seconds on the clock until our fourth Drake of the game is live. It is a 2-to-1 count, so no soul available here for either squad. As Wei's just running on through, Cryan teleports into mid lane here to be ready. Ooh, nice poke coming out from the Shock Blast there, taking off half of Ghost's health.
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal. DAMWON trying to poke back here, Khan grouping up now. Kind of becomes this little mini game where RNG have got to dodge the poke. You've got to be able to be really effective at that. At the same time, you also have to dodge that Jace poke coming through here from Xiaohu, because he is quite strong at this point. And,
oh my goodness, he's already ready to go. It's the insect, baby, and Khan is getting it done. Leona ulti ready to follow up. They're getting the kill on Xiaohu next. Both RNG solo laners have been deleted, and DAMWON roars to life.
Is that Khan or was that Canyon? Because those Lee Sin mechanics are clean, baby. Khan goes in, kick flash, Cryan deleted. DAMWON on the march to Baron. Oh, baby, what was that?
Khan on this playmaker, on this Lee Sin. Give the man the opportunity to decide the game, and he'll get it done. DAMWON's now on the Baron. working it down rather quickly here. Already down to about half HP. Remember, the Wei does have the flash. He's able to try to go in and go for the steal if he wants to. It's up to DAMWON to keep him out of the pit, but Ming's already over the wall. The Baron's going to be taken very low. Canyon's able to secure it, and now they're going to get Baron, and they're going to get a little bit of extra here on the side. Ghost jumps over the wall, but Gala's going in. He's got the killer instinct, but who's the killer and who is the killed? Goodbye, RNG, as DAMWON finds themselves a Baron and a couple of kills. Khan's now got to be careful. Canyon with a flash away, and Khan's going right back in. RNG decided that DAMWON was still hungry, and they fed him a couple more courses, baby.
RNG looking like a bad kung fu movie there, funneling in one at a time, getting knocked down left and right as Ghost wipes them off the map, and DAMWON take full control over this game. This is the LCK #1 seed that LCK fans were hoping for. The precision, the execution in these team fights was where they were supposed to have such an advantage, and finally being able to showcase it. This is the stuff you dream about as a Lee Sin. International final, hit flash, perfect target there, straight into the CC, no chance for Cryin. And then Khan is going deep. The Xerath ults from downtown. It's Kobe, baby, nothing but net. As Showmaker takes down another, and with that second kill, they're getting Baron, they're taking all the kills after, and they are looking to take this game.
Look at the Red Bull Baron power play counter right now. 4,500 gold with 90 seconds still to play. And that's because of the kills that they got after getting the Baron. They picked up 4 kills after they won the Smite fight, after they secured that. DAMWON has so much momentum right now. And with a minute and a half to still use it, to still flex those muscles, RNG has got to be scared about what they've still yet to lose.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting dangerous. You don't have that much more to give. And when you're on the defensive against Xerath, it's so tough. You want to step forward and clear out those mini waves, but look at this ulti!
Oh, they're going in, baby. The right of the Arcane just raining down hell on him. Wei manages to get away, still with about 20% of his HP remaining, but that means he will not be available here for this defense.
Here comes the poke over the wall, though. It's so tough to actually hold these positions. Showmaker can look once they clear out these wards. He can position over there with Barrel, and as Ghost steps forward to actually attack the wave, attack that tower, you're in such a difficult position. Like, look at where Cryin and these members are having to position to try to avoid any potential Xerath poke. It's just so tough to actually both clear out the wave and avoid poke from Showmaker.
Okay, Ghost losing a little bit of HP there, about 40%, thanks to Cryan's Orianna. Khan will be on split push duty here, making sure they're applying pressure to more than one place. Wei's here to stop him. Khan doesn't want to go for any playmaking on the Udyr, though. We've seen many a team make that error in the past, whether it's domestic, international play, whatever. Over-indexed on the tank, and it's one of the shortest ways to throw a lead, so Khan is not about to make that mistake. They'll just continue pushing up instead, playing it nice and slow. Cannon minions putting some damage into the tier 3 turret here. Meanwhile, the tier 2 in bottom lane. This is what Baron split push is all about. Wear them down slowly. Make them choose where they want to defend and then strike at the other location. DAMWON will secure that bottom lane tier 2 turret. 5-1 in turret count here this game.
And while it didn't actually matter on this push, they even had top lane prep. You see that Xiaohu is up there clearing that wave out, but that was another stacked wave. So had RNG, not defended as well as they did, well, you lose that tower and all of a sudden Khan's up in topside. And you're losing another tier 2 and it's getting even worse. They are now down 7,000 gold here just about. You talk about Infernal Soul as one of those kind of primo buffs that you can go for. Khan looking for a fight here.
Yeah, they don't even need buffs. If Khan's able to just go in and grab the solo kills like this, he's taking the resonating strike. Xiaohu with a good disengage there. Khan wants to escape, but Wei is already trying to intercept. The rest of DAMWON is ready to go to protect him. Xiaohu will not die to the Xerath ultis. Cryan's very, very low. Sonic Wave and Resonating Strike. That Resonating Strike going to be denied now as well, but the Shockwave will not do enough. And Khan is a man on a mission here in game number 2.
He's got the assistance from long distance. Showmaker is there with the assist, but Khan making it happen for the team. DAMWON continuing to push forward here, continuing to threaten the base, and they have the fallback of the Infernal with some of the best champions for it. This is an aggressive TP. We may see Ming try to go on it,
Nope, immediately ready with a safeguard, gets away already. Going in yet again, there it is, he just don't miss. Stopwatch also ready there for the follow-up, as now they'll find themselves another kill. 3 dead on the side of RNG, still 5 seconds before Cryan's able to come back. Ghost says, get out of my game! Ace for DAMWON, they will push the Nexus turrets, and they are about to tie this series up. Cryan stuck back in the fountain. Yeah, the shockwave's gonna hit the Xerath, but what does it matter? DAMWON were down early. It looked so bad for them, but they struck back beautifully. And Showmaker Xerath stealing away that dragon. The rest of the team playing around it beautifully, and Khan's immaculate Lee Sin kicks.